And we are back with crew battles. First, I want to say thank you to everyone tuning in. This is a spectacular event run by amazing people, and there's no better proof of that than if you just go !donate. We'll just run through some of the places your money will go. If you choose to donate, of course, it's your choice. We appreciate it. Some of the donations will go towards a future Rollback Rumble IRL event, which is not something I could get too excited about. I'm sure Wasabi over there on the West Coast is going to make the most out of it. Part of the donation will go towards funding the team because a lot of work, and I don't know if payment could even be called. Stipends, of course, is what Melee TOs are used to saying, so that is just heavily appreciated as well. Portions of the fundraisers will go towards the Museum of Art and Digital Entertainment. It is a venue. Man, I should have read this one a little closer, but you could do !made and read all about what that donation will do and a bit more about that organization, so check that out. And I think most importantly, the Memorial Fund of William Ma, a beloved TO, smasher, friend, just a great human being from what I've been told and all the stories out there, and it'd just be a great way to kind of help out in that Memorial Fund. A lot of great places, so if you're available, Summit's over. You got to put those paychecks somewhere, folks, and we know you're putting it towards Smash, so we got you. !donate.
Yeah, thank you for that, JD. Thank you. Yeah, again, just showing as much love and support for Homemade Waffles and Jade and Nathan and the rest of the TO team for this event, and supporting important causes like the Memorial Fund for William Ma. Also, on top of stuff that we have to tell you, we have an update regarding crews, an unfortunate one, but we just got news that Texas unfortunately dropped out. So that means that we're gonna see the Pacific Northwest / West Canada move through, right? Because they were about to face after our crew battle now, which is going to be MDVA versus Southeast.
Yep, and neither of them have dropped out, and from what I heard, they did a good job organizing on the back end. Kudos to the captains, Vintage and Magi, for getting your shit together. Let's talk about this, man. We're talking East Coast, we're talking MDVA, right?
Yeah.
Which I've described as the strongest pool of players I've ever witnessed in my life. I went down there a few times and was just playing someone, and I matched against this Falco, I remember. I'll remember this the rest of my life. I sat down against this Falco, and look, I'm a good player, and this Falco was bringing me to the edge. Every friendly. I don't think you could, because I go, hey, what's your tag? And he goes,
Silly Willy.
Will? He goes, I don't have a tag. And I slam the table, and I go, MDVA, are you serious? That you have such talent that people who don't have tags yet are just destroying people out here. It was ridiculous. And Southeast, on the other hand, looking like a favorite? ? I mean, they are maybe not as strong as I think you mentioned Florida earlier.
Florida's goated, I have to say, unfortunately.
But
Lorix hypely. Florida's an amazing region, of course, but Southeast also goated.
Southeast is looking incredibly strong. I mean, Magi, LSD, HT. Is Coldball confirmed for this?
Yeah, crew? Yeah. Off memory, I remember at least for MDVA, we're gonna get Vintage playing as Marth. We're gonna get Mog, Tyler Swift, Bones, and Beezim, I believe. And for Southeast, their 5 are Magi, LSD, Cobalt, H-Twa, and J-Salt. So I really love the pick right there. I think J-Salt, really, really crucial. I think just being a Sheik, having a Sheik against MDVA is, I think, really, really strong, considering you have Mog, a Peach player, Tyler Swift, Pikachu, Vintage, a Marth, and Beezim, a Yoshi. So super, super crucial, I think, to have a Sheik. that's who I was most excited for to see kind of make the Southeast bracket.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that I can't take my eyes off of the Pikachu and Yoshi here for MDVA. I mean,
it's double trouble. Like someone Q and Team Rocket for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think if Axe is out there, he's gonna be taking notes, or at least being like, "Ooh, let's see what these little mid tiers can do." But Tyler Swift, if anyone has ever had to face Axe in the new era, they've hit up Tyler Swift. As one of the premier non-Axe Pikachu. No,
there's OKP. There's OKP too.
Yeah, it's we're waiting for one of them to make a breakout. Tyler Swift certainly in the running to be like the distinct number 2. I'm not going to talk out my butt here and give any sort of hard call here, but I will say that if you're looking for something to look out for to carry this character into the new era, Tyler Swift is doing things that I think even Axe doesn't pull off as much. So a lot to be excited for.
Yeah, and part of that is also because Tyler Swift plays on the box, right? Is the box Pikachu, and I forgot to mention, right? Like there are actually a few Pikachus coming in. Like as I said, OKP has really amazing results as well. Tyler Swift also Zane's regular practice partner. I think once Axe got into Summit, Tyler Swift tweeted out, "I'm available," and with a screenshot of Axe booking a ticket to Summit. But seeing that, I believe this is HT versus Tyler Swift, so we also have a rectangle off, JD. If I am correct.
It looks like Cobalt for my
Does it say Cobalt?
I'm copping. Yeah, brother.
Right.
I think you really showed the pixels. You have a CRT monitor over there, right?
Yeah. All right. You're right. It is Cobalt, so we don't have a rectangle off. My bad. Still,
it's all right. I don't hold it against you.
Yeah. I was looking at pixels, unfortunately. I think I mean the big thing I think with Tyler Swift, the way that he plays Pikachu, we see a lot more usage of down tilt compared to Axe. I think Axe is a master at using Pikachu's Nair as this like little Pokeball of hitboxes, but Tyler Swift does love the down tilt.
Hey, don't we all? I think Tyler Swift's neutral is going to have to come into play here. We have Cobalt, one of the most classically just always good, perpetually like top 30 players that never fails to disappoint in just sheer fundamentals in my experience. Just understanding the game, understanding every matchup, and I actually really like Cobalt as a first pick, specifically because there's the Yoshi and there's the Pikachu, and you want someone who's not going to get caught off guard. Not catching this first stock yet, actually getting grabbed, but sick DI on the forward air or forward throw. Still living.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Cobalt is actually a really well-rounded Fox player, but Tyler Swift looks to close it out here. Wow. And just a little quick joke, the big thing with Cobalt, I think, is will Cobalt SD? Is Cobalt playing with 3 stocks or 4? That determines a lot, honestly, JD.
Oh my God, it's spreading.
Wow.
What's going on, man?
I called that, is all I have to say.
I think that was clip worthy, if I say so myself. You made it, man. You cursed it.
Yep.
Or you blessed it? I don't know. If you're Tyler Swift, it's a blessing. Because this is looking pretty strong. And now, not quite the gimp you would have wanted. Another chance.
Oh, trying to get the reverse tail spike. That was pretty ballsy of Pikachu right there. But yeah, I like how Cobalt's playing now. He just needs to get the grab and choosing back air, right? Racking percent. There's no need to go for up air right now.
Yeah, I really like what T-Swift is doing against it, but Cobalt, again, the fundamentals are there. That one stock is definitely putting a lot of pressure on him to clean this up and to not let the crew get away, because of course it's not this is it's an analog victory, you know? You can't just not the box victory.
Oh, they're going for the box angle right there. And an SD as well. That's the second SD by Tyler Swift. JD, I've been noticing Cobalt getting a little aggressive by the corner, and I'm wondering if we're gonna see a classic Pikachu reversal. The back throw.
I kind of hope not. I'm a little I've lost in a major with that before. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel good. But it looks like just a classic combo here. Never going to ledge, smart by Cobalt, but getting picked up and not being able to get out of those jabs. Cobalt's looking like he's going to lose to Tyler Swift, 2 stocks to nothing. The new Pikachu is in the house. Let's see if we at least bring it back to 1 apiece.
The tricky part here is now down tilt will knock down 2 also for Pikachu, and that just opens up a lot for Pikachu. Not that even Tyler Swift needs it, looks like. Also, Cobalt, some of the best side Bs in the business, JD, I have to say. Oh my gosh. Letting it rip. We're paying Beyblades right now.
Oh my god, yeah, but is he gonna be a rip back or is he gonna RIP? You know what I mean? Is Up Smash would have ended it now?
Oh,
what the hell is going on, dude? This is just just someone kill each other, for Christ's sake.
Oh
We've been playing this game for 3.5 minutes. Just end it at this point.
Alright, whose anime protagonist theme song is gonna cue in first? That's what I want to know. Oh my gosh.
It's not over yet. Cobalt, a stock here again is a big win relatively to what it could be, but T-Swift wants a hit. Wow, I literally could not breathe for about a minute. Just it's so tense, and it's funny because all we're talking about here is the difference between one stock. I think because it's Cruz, it keeps these matches so much more exciting for so much longer, because of the implication, you know.
Yeah, I agree. And what's surprising is Cobalt actually didn't take any stocks, technically speaking.
Oh, shut up, dude.
Tyler Swift. I'm just saying.
Right,
I'm just saying. Tyler Swift SD twice. It's just important to note that despite Cobalt playing really well towards the end, and I thought Cobalt was gonna close it out. Honestly, I thought Cobalt was gonna at least take 3 stocks. But great showing by Tyler Swift again. I mean, like, one of the premier up-and-coming Pikachu mains, especially grew in the Slippy era.
Yep. I mean, great performance. We're going to see a few more stocks out of him for sure. But let's see what is going on for the Southeast, because I don't think it's as easy as anything. Pikachu doesn't have that kind of mid-tier versus Sheik matchup that I think used to be the case, right? Used to think, oh, you just toss Sheik in there. Sheik can grab everyone, just do it. I think at this point, the new mid-tiers, especially, I think, someone at T-Swift's level, if I could call you T, is going to be getting out of those chain grabs early and being able to kill Sheik off the rinse-repeat edge guards. I think that is not as simple as just the classic counter pick. But at the same time, I mean, maybe J-Salt, get him in there, see what he could do. I think that it's a little bit more nuanced than that. I think you want to keep J-Salt maybe for, I think you mentioned Mog as the kind of counter there. I think that's smart. I think LSD could be a good pick to come in here against Pikachu, just because Marth kinda is like, I don't think it's as bad as it is. At the same time, Tyler Swift has notoriously played Zane for like weeks at a time
on a daily basis.
Yeah, so maybe they're privy to that and they don't want to go for it, and maybe it's just Magi. Just put one of your strongest players in and see if Magi can clean it up, and just keep this rolling. Just stick the Spacey out is never that bad of a strategy in Cruz. I don't know. That's all of my thoughts. It's tough to say.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what makes early round Cruz so interesting, like the start of Cruz, is because it's all about a little bit about like resource management and like keeping your trump cards, right? Like there is some distinct like matchups that you want to avoid from both teams. Mainly like the Beezim versus LSD, right? Yoshi versus Marth, I think, is really big. Peach versus Sheik, right, is one that's classically you don't want to face. Though granted, I do know that Mog does have a lot of Sheik practice and is really quite good at that. And then Spacey just kind of come in there to mess everything up, honestly. But before we kind of get a confirmation, I was gonna say there was one aspect of Pikachu's back air is such a crazy move, mainly because it kind of teleports Pikachu a little bit and adjusts. Like the center of where Pikachu's back air isn't where like Pikachu actually lands, like when Pikachu hits the floor. So it is really That's why that like edge cancel that we freaked out about looked so crazy.
Well, I mean, you're not notorious for your secondaries, but you do have a Pikachu.
His name's Dave.
The legendary Dave. And you do love your frame data and ECB knowledge, so I will get past you to bring it out. All right, J-Salt, look, I think, I brought it up as not being as obvious as it is, so I could see why they took so much time to maybe make the decision. Well, it looks like they've been doing a bit of a hand warmer time, so maybe I was just talking out my butt to fill time. But you know what? I'll admit to that. Just send the Sheik in. Sometimes it is as simple as it's a technically. I don't think any world gives us a losing matchup for Sheik. So put him in, and hopefully you could deal with Mog in other ways later on.
Yeah, I gotta say, quick thing is for Sheik's chain grab on Pikachu, because Tyler Swift is on the box. I wonder if there is like a good ambiguous angle that Pikachu has to get out. You still can get it as a Fox main doing it against Marth and Sheik, but it's not as good as like having the control stick. And so I'm really curious to see that specifically.
Oh my god, we're in there. Hold up.
Yeah.
I really like that call out though. That is fascinating stuff. And you box controller folks out here are just. Now you're revolutionizing DI? I thought it was just pivot up tilts. My god.
No. I mean, we're saying we have worse DI. But we're rectangle people.
You're right. You've better recovery angles somehow. Or at least you have, since you... Whatever. I'm tight.
You're tight, yeah. Let's get back to this match, though.
Sure.
I was thinking we'd get the washing machine cycle, but the great ASDI down to kind of get back to center by J-Salt.
J-Salt, of course, one of the notorious J Sheiks out there. I don't know why all these Sheiks are starting with J in their name. It's just a thing. But hey, very strong player and already looking like a good choice. A lot of percent. Pikachu, of course, has that Nair, will probably lead to a kill if the edge guard follows up, of course. And here we go. I like that.
Great reaction. While we have a little time, I just have to say the Pikachu overlay model is so sick.
Oh my god, look at that's insane. I love that.
So cute. This is so cool. Shout out to Shiggles who made it for sure. Oh, here's the grab.
Now I'm just looking at this thing. Well, I mean, during the chain grab is a good thing to look at.
Yeah, and that's it. I distracted everyone, but good job to J-Salt.
Sure. He's distracted Tyler, man. He's like, oh, I do look cool. And then just getting...
Like a little Pikachu dancing. How do you not like that, JD?
I do. Of course, everyone does. I do want to say that as I look quickly over the feedback to see what I missed during that entire exchange, looks like it was less grabs than I thought, but good job to T-Swift taking... I keep calling him T-Swift now.
That's Mr. T to you.
Mr. Oh, that's way better. Taking 5 stocks is doing more than, carrying more than your weight. And especially when that means you snag that first counter pick advantage, it is a big, big deal. I don't think it needs to be said, but it can't be oversaid that here in Cruise, it's not just about winning, it's about setting your team up for success. And now we'll see, let's dive into what these counter picks could be. I mean, I think Bones is probably the most obvious choice, but maybe Bzim is super confident against Sheik. I just think they're going to throw Bones in.
I'm going to guess Mog, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I do think I've seen Mog play Sheik just so many times. So I do think Mog, and then they're trying to save Bzim for LSD, I imagine.
So you think it'll go Mog, and I think if Mog was in, he's getting counterpicked by LSD, and then you think Bzim's there.
Bzim, yeah. Vintage has a Marth, so if Vintage has a Marth, they're trying to probably set up Vintage for Magi or HT, right?
Yeah.
So I really think that Bones is the wild card for MDVA that can kind of be placed anywhere, and Southeast has, I mean, they just have really, really strong players. Wow, you were right, JD.
I'm always kind of right sometimes, so whatever, man. I'm not even that impressed with myself. I just know that when I read our list of 4 names, I have a 25% chance.
That's just like when we play Among Us, where you just say I'm the imposter, and
imposter though.
I'm not. Yeah, you're like, it's 50-50 when there's like 10 people in chat, and I'm like, how? And you convince everyone.
It is 50-50 because you are either the imposter or you're not. And all I know is that I've been very adamant about my success rate on calling you out first meeting. You are the imposter.
How statistics work, but you do have good odds on it for sure.
I just know, man. I'm like, all right, it's Will, and then there's the other time where I'm like, dude, I just have a feeling Will's not the imposter, and everyone's like, all right, hard clear, he's good, and then it was just like you just killed everyone.
Yeah, there could also be 10 seconds left. You're like, I changed my mind. But talking about statistics, right?
Sure.
Bones J-Salt. That's my segue. That's my segue
terrible.
right there.
That's terrible, and I love it.
I know, right? This is, but real talk, right? I think it's going to be really interesting to see, mainly because I mean, Sheik does struggle with spacies in general, right? And with Bones having the counter pick here, I think it leaves Bones in a very, very strong position. And as someone who's like always been good, but then also has gotten like more experience in the spotlight over the online era, both of these players, honestly, I'm excited to see, because I don't personally, I have not seen them face off. That doesn't mean that they've never faced off. I have just never seen them face off.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's always. It's crazy how many players have gotten just not just good but great, right? And my threshold for great might be different than yours. I would consider both of these players to be great players. And yeah, we have an opportunity here. It might not be a full set. It might be 3 stocks to 4 to start, but Bones is stepping in and gonna try to make sure that this Sheik does no more damage to his team. What kind of the call outs? We have a little bit of time to breathe.
No, we're actually in it, JD, right now.
No, I know. I'm saying this is not going to be a
okay.
Not going to be a 2 stock to 1 or
fair.
2 stock to 4. What are you looking out for?
So I think the thing is, I'm noticing a lot of back throws by Bones, and I don't know what to call up after it, but it's transferring to side platforms, which I think is really interesting. Main thing is, again, this rinse and repeat cycle versus the Omps attacks. And then for Sheik, it's always been this: needles, get off stage, kick the bird.
Oh my god, did you see that DI off the needles though?
Yeah.
Bones coming back and somehow able to turn that into a good scenario. And just the forward still. Man, I was expecting a strong hit.
Oh, that delayed back air right there was so good, because it delayed so that you missed the Omps attack timing.
Yeah, Bones, just such a veteran at this point. A player that I respect wholeheartedly for just kind of never quitting, always being pretty freaking good. And as you said before, being able to shine in this new era has been amazing. So I think what we're seeing is those option selects, just knowledge of like, all right, I don't want to lose to this defense. Let's not allow this defense to shine. And that was good DI to tech out of that dash attack. See if J-Salt can turn much out of this. Turns out not much. Back to neutral. Lasers.
Yeah, Bones is just really controlling the tempo here. J-Salt now has center, so this is kind of party time, but gets reversed by a get up attack. Oh my gosh. And the delayed F smash too. That is really, really filthy, honestly. Just delaying it.
Bones doing a ton of filthy things. Just up being almost right in the face, but also just out of range and keeping this percent allowing him to survive. Not that tech won't do enough, but a laser! Getting in a little extra percent. I don't think there's a scenario that comes into play, but who knows? Percent's percent. See what Bones wants to do with this this laser. Hate to call it control because now he's in the corner, but he's just playing annoying at this point. Wow.
Well, it's a laser lockdown, you know. You got to come to me. That's how fighting games work, you know.
Sure. Doesn't
matter if you're in the corner if you get to him, and Falco's one of the best characters to do that with that laser. I love though, like, Bones is like so present while lasering. Like, laser sees J-Salt move forward, dashes back. Like, that is PP-esque.
Oh yeah, I think you can't laser if you're not going to be like mindful of why you're doing it. And now we have a real big opportunity for J-Salt to. Oh my god, the up tilt. That was not on purpose, but you up away and you survive. Now a pickup. I think the double jump.
No jump. Has a jump back down.
That was a little uncharacteristic. I think that down air might have really woken his team up, but not gonna clear the stock. And that shield drop fair. Now this is a little scary. Bones came in with an advantage. J-Salt took even stocks. If this goes his way, yep. And Bones, even though keeping the advantage, it wasn't quite the dominating entrance he would have liked. So great stuff to J-Salt again, carrying that weight, making sure that their team hangs in there, even though the counterpick advantage is sticking with MDVA.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I love the what I was gonna say. I honestly just love the awareness that Bones had. I thought that like the only thing I was worried about, which led to Bones losing his third stock, was just backing off a little bit too much and letting she kind of get space in the corner.
Sure.
It allowed for kind of like that, not a YOLO dash attack, but like a committal dash attack, right? And it ended up panning out into a stock from J-Salt. So to be able to convert that by J-Salt and to time that dash attack was really, really good. But I thought Bones just gave that little extra space for that to happen. Outside of that, Bones played that matchup really, really well and really strong. I was really impressed with it. There's some small nuances that Bones did, even like purposely missing techs to go for an omps tech at high percent, that, you know, when you've been playing for the game for that long and you're a true student of the game, seeing other players go for those options is I think really, really smart and a good sign. And I could see Bones taking one or two more stocks, honestly, going into whoever Bones plays next.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange to classify what the next player is going to be coming in for. Is it a cleanup? Is it to regain momentum? Is it to just hang in there until... I mean, look, we have 3 incredibly strong players on the back foot for Southeast right now. It's hard to pin down just what the full strategy will be, and you know, look at the options, right? Magi, LSD, HT. I think there is no world where Bones is a free win, but there's certainly a scenario where where Bones can take like 3 stocks, you know, off whoever comes out, and that is scary. So it looks like Magi will be coming in. I don't hate the pick. I think it's fairly strong because kind of goes both ways. Magi, one of the strongest players in the tournament.
Yep.
Depending on the day, of course, could go
more so the internet, depending on the internet.
That's true. And so I think sending her in on this is a good call. And it's a 1-stock Falco Ditto. It's again, you got to come in with that confidence. You got to make sure that whoever comes into a crew is like, yeah, send me in. And I think when you're the captain and you make a decision to not, you know, when you're anchor, it's like you don't have a choice. Okay, I'm last. It's my turn. When you're going in third, it's a deliberate, I'm the best player for this situation. I will take this stock. And I will be the one to make sure we, you know, reclaim whatever counterpick advantage is left in the last 2. So a lot riding on this 1 stock, to be honest, but it's all really set up for the next game. Bones, not to be counted out, could completely go off. Falco Ditto, 1 stock.
Yeah, I like it. It also says a lot about Southeast trying to avoid the BZIM LSD matchup as well, but it's all about Falco Dittos right now, and Magi gets an opening with a JC Shine. This is nutty.
Well, let's see what comes out of it. I mean, it's almost hard to keep track of what Falco is what. I have to keep looking at colors and stocks and percentages.
Bones is blue. B for Bones and B for blue.
You know what? That hardly helps, but thank you. It's a Falco thing, man. It's just like, come on. But Magi needs to, you know, keep it together, make sure that every opening is taken full advantage of, and Bones is looking to close this out. Oh my God. Insane. Following through with that tech chase. Now not getting hit by the side B. That's impossible on online.
Shield poke there.
Oh my God. The style almost to close it. Not quite. Now the laser's coming out. Laser battle. Hit by the get up attack. The swag being hit by the drag. Not getting hit.
Oh.
Big. And now, oof, that was just nutty. Back and forth. Magi showing some incredible defense. Almost just losing a stock from that down air. And then back air dodge to stage. And brought it back. That was big. That was really important.
No, that was great. I mean, the left side, Magi and the left side of Pokemon, there's something magical about that, because that's also where Magi Omsatech Mango's F smash before beating Mango Game 3 at Genesis a few years back. To see kind of that was crazy. I mean, the defensive options, and that's why defense is so crucial in Melee, because of just like the wealth of offense. Also, you just need to have a good defense, and that dare Magi was like, what's stronger than a spike? Family and a tech.
Yep, strongest family. Yep.
I don't know. The Fast and Furious memes are Fast and Furious memes are just all over my timeline today.
Dude, I kind of can't. I want to. I just can't right now. We got
Fair enough.
But I mean, that was one of the most entertaining single stock Melee matches I've seen in a minute. Just incredible Melee, very condensed Falco dittos. And we're back. This is tied. And even though the counterpick advantage is still, of course, going to be with MDVA for this next game, who do you send in here that's going to be that's going to be strong against Magi? I think Mog is probably the best choice.
Yep.
From what I know of Mog. Incredibly strong against Falco specifically. Obviously good against Spaceys, but he's kind of like a Falco Slayer. And he's been confident to just like any Falco, doesn't matter. Give me Mango. I've heard him say, just give me the Falcos, I'll do it. So I think this might be a no-brainer pick for MDVA, but they also, they have a Marth. Do they keep Marth for HT? Probably. I think Mog's coming in here. That's my call.
I agree with that, JD. I agree. We're gonna see Mog. Mog is so good with Falco, and thank you for reminding me about that. And one of Mog's first big wins, like during his march to top 100, what was it, like last year, a year and a half ago, was Ginger, right? And so I mean, I think we're gonna see Mog. Yep, and as I just said it's confirmed now. But we gotta talk. There is a thing that's associated with Mog that makes it really strong against Falcos and Spaces in general, and I think it's that flicking the C stick down mixed with also like really, really good reversals and being able to capitalize off of it. And that's the thing, JD. You gave me a little smirk right there. I saw it on camera, but Mog is really good with the down smash, and that says a lot.
Well, I'm hearing, Admittedly, I think we'll both admit this. I have more Peach experience than yourself. I think over time.
But I did beat Mog in a money match, and you didn't at Shine.
Did we both money match him?
Yeah, you lost.
I don't know. I'm hearing that you, even if you won, you're getting tight about that down smash. That's what I'm hearing. Is a little bit of Peach hate.
Hey, I don't hate Peach. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it factually. We're gonna see a lot of Beyblades out.
Flicking the C stick down is not what I would call a dignity-filled analysis of the Peach matchup. Will, I'm calling you out. I don't know, man. But look, all jokes aside, I do think Mog is incredibly strong at flicking that C stick down like some idiot. I do think that. No, we're boys. We're boys.
Oh, ayo.
I think that Magi, of course, not really particularly weak in any matchup. I don't think I've seen her against a Peach anytime recently. So we're gonna have to really stick to what Mog can do in terms of like knowledge going into it, right? Stage dependence is definitely. Or stage, what's the word here? The stage counterpick is in Mog's favor, I believe. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that is true.
So we're probably going to be not on FD. I do believe they
FOD,
get one.
Probably
FOD is a good guess. I don't know how he feels about Dreamland, but it would be those two, of course. And oh wait, hold up.
I guess there's no counter picks. Guess we're getting good old FD.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
All right, sure. We're on FD. Why not? Okay.
Yep. Both and warming up right now.
That changes everything. We got chain grabs on chain grabs.
Yeah. Why don't you? What's in the first in your head outside of chain grabs, as we're about to start?
Well, I don't know percents for the Peach chain grab. Okay, we're not there. God damn it.
Ow.
Just for hand warmers.
Stitch? What?
Oh my god. Off the rip? Are you for real?
Yeah,
Look
no,
at
there
that.
was a Stitch. I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
my god. Mog it says I don't want it. And now we're gonna have a classic top platform Falco matchup. I don't think there's any world where top platform is like not part of the game plan, right? It's always available for Falco. Peach has just such weak vertical mobility, but we saw that Parasol come out just now. It's kind of a good bet to get up there. Now down smash. There's just a lot to dig into, man. What are you seeing?
I mean, one, I'm surprised Parasol goes all the way to the top platform. That's a great way for Peach to just kind of like close that space. But I like how Magi's really walling out with bears here. The big thing, just like basic Fox or basic Falco Peach is just that Peach's float can go above Falco's laser, and it's just like if you don't bear an up tilt, it makes Falco's life really, really hard. So I love the walling that we're seeing for Magi right now in the control.
Ooh, but I also would love to see that edge guard coming out. Another opportunity. Not as easy as it looks. There's so many mix-ups, but then the Nair coming out right after that down air and cleaning up that first stock. Mog with a small advantage, and now Mog is not the type of player to just go constant go in. We've seen I've seen from him at least time and again the ability to control the pace, really just find the openings with grabs. Here's a bit of an opportunity. That was a double jump cancel to get up there. Pretty sick.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
we're back to neutral.
Yeah, the thing that impresses me with Mog the most that I was trying to say earlier before you called me out for Peach hate was just Mog's reversal ability. I think Mog is like one of the best at like, being at a disadvantage and calling something out and kind of getting a really favorable reversal and making the most out of it. It's kind of high risk at times, but it works out more often than not.
Certainly viable for the Peach matchup, or for the Peach mains out there, is to have a really strong defense.
Oh, that's an unfortunate turnip poke.
Yeah, that was lucky, but also sick as fuck.
Ooh. Flow to cancel the dash away momentum was so cool. Peach is such a cool character, honestly. I wish I could play Peach.
Oh, don't try to make up for what you were saying earlier. You think they're down smash spamming,
dot eyes.
Pulling. Don't try to get away from me, Will.
Don't know what you're talking about, Tater. I am not. I'm loving, though, how Mog is playing. That's for one thing.
Oh my god!
That's it.
The amount of skill that down smash took, right, Will? Right?
That was a lot of percent, JD. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it definitely was. I do think the counter pick is working out just because Mog just seems to know how to deal with Falco's escape, and putting pressure with those parasols might not always lead to everything, but it's just immediate. Don't go up there. I will catch you with a move that knocks you down. Now an opportunity for Magi to get something. We're talking 2 stocks to 1. Again, these are analog victories. The more stocks you take, the better it is for your crew. Mog taking all of Magi's while leaving 2 is a huge deal here. This is an opportunity. Another Stitch to end it! Start and end with a Stitch. Mog is fully hacking this Slippy. Holy smokes. That is huge for the MDVA team. Magi, arguably one of the strongest players on the Southeast squad, and now it is kind of a big lead for MDVA. Going into the last couple. This is looking rough. What are you thinking, Will?
I mean, one is you said it the best. Mog is a Falco slayer, and then we certainly saw that. The Stitch was well timed and definitely like crazy, but any turnip there would have killed Magi realistically, 9 times out of 10. So I think it was on lock already. But as you said, it's a huge lead, right? MDVA now just has Vintage, a Marth player, and Bizim, the Yoshi player, against. And Mog, of course, and Southeast just has LSD and HT, and so it's kind of gonna be really, really interesting, especially now that you have a lead. You can MDVA obviously won't, but you could like colloquially like park the bus because you just have a lot of tankier characters, right? There's not a lot of characters that won't at least take a few stocks, right? Yoshi and Peach specifically are on my mind that like don't get blown up, and one could argue even Marth, right? Versus Southeast has one Fox, which could do all the damage or could just get, quickly taken away as well. But I think that MDVA is in the driving seat.
Oh yeah, I like that analysis. I think BZim is definitely a hate to say wild card, but just by virtue of playing Yoshi, is a strength going into this. I don't know many scenarios in a best of one where, as you said, a couple stocks aren't taken by him. Unless HT has just some Yoshi that they just play all the time and constantly get that Yoshi experience where they come out and 4 stock and then it's all of a sudden Southeast's crew to lose. Yoshi will make sure that they're trading a lot and will come out with at least a few to hold it down. I really like that analysis. Vintage, from my knowledge, and this is just this gap in my understanding, I'm not sure of the caliber. Obviously you have to be good enough to make these crews. This is not like first come first serve crews. It's pretty selective. But when we're talking about LSD in the Marth Ditto, I think LSD can do a lot of damage. So in that respect, Southeast might have another trick up their sleeve to pull out here. But I'm curious who comes out here, because Mog's got 2 stocks and they're not going easy.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, the thing is we saw LSD win the Gale Summit 2 Game 5s against Ryobeat, if I recall. So Peach should be fresh in their head. And I know you sat down with LSD as well recently. Also congrats on making it into Summit. But they have a really great practice routine, and I cannot imagine a world where they're not prepared for a Peach. And especially I think this is where, very surprisingly, Mog could be the could get blown up a little bit, only because I'm just wondering how Mog will get in. I think Mog is such a strong reversal player, but when you have a sword, you don't really lend yourself to getting reversed a lot. And I think that's kind of what I'm thinking about, even if MDVA has the lead here.
I like that analysis as well. Crushing it, 2 for 2 in a row. It's typically a matchup Peaches don't love, for good reason. I mean, Marth just has so many tools in neutral, can juggle. Peach, even with the best DI, has some pretty solid low percent confirms, and the ability to kind of just cheese out a pivot forward smash or some sort of down air off forward throw and DI traps and all that stuff. LSD will be very well aware of going into this. A very studious player, a very practiced player, someone who, if execution's there and the pressure of getting into Summit has been relieved, and I'm sure, unless that pressure has been replaced by complacency, which I don't expect, but it's possible.
I saw some nasty combos post Summit making it in. I saw some nasty combos.
Yeah, I don't think he's resting. I think he's even more on the grind, looking forward to Summit. So that's a moot point. But going into this, Mog, for his credit, is very well practiced in the Marth matchup. MDVA is, I think the M stands for Marth, and the D stands for down tilt. So I think they, everyone over there has plenty of ways of understanding the matchup. I think Mog needs to jump off right now. Yep, thank you. And as we go into this, I just don't think it's I don't think we're gonna know until we know. It's gonna be kind of up in the air. But for LSD, the pressure's on.
I agree. I mean, regardless, Mog did his part, right? It forces now BZim allowing to play LSD, which is the big thing I was looking for at the start. And we're already seeing 2 down smashes by Mog, but a great whiff punish on the F smash with a dash attack. I'm really impressed by that timing of the run-in.
I'm impressed by the DI and oh my god, yep, wow, that'll happen. I was gonna say impressed by Mog's DI. We could see a stock here that's pretty big. If Mog can get 1, not too bad of a turnout against arguably the strongest player on the squad. That is it. A little bit of taunting, do some mental damage, And a turn up, for what it's worth, this could be another stock. LSD needs to take this, or else it's a much more difficult crew to win.
Yeah. I like Mog going for higher risk options right now, you know, just wants to take the momentum away from LSD, who's, I mean, because of also Marth being Marth, is controlling the neutral really, really well.
Oh, a couple hits in a row. Oh my god, just crouching through that neutral air, almost like fully understanding LSD is going to come up with it, and then just eating it, shielding and getting a combo. Now that up tilt is enough. Yep.
Oof.
Good performance though for Mog. That is a pretty good position to be in. 5 stocks taken against the 2 arguably strongest players, and now we're moving on to either Marth Ditto, or we got the Yoshi. I mean, what do you think? You've been saying Beezim this whole time, right?
I've been saying Beezim. Beezim's an amazing player. Fun fact, he beat B, getting second in our Fantasy Premier League. That has nothing to do with Melee, JD, but, you know, that was cool. Amazing Fantasy Premier League player. But also a Yoshi main on the side.
Yeah, his main gig is winning Fantasy Premier Leagues, of course.
Yeah, of course. I mean, big Bayern fan, so shout outs to that team. I know he'd appreciate it, a good friend. But really, this is what I've been hyping up for this matchup, right? This is the clear Yoshi versus Marth sort of thing. And granted, we've seen Zane really, you know, grind that matchup out and show how favorable it can be for Marth, and I know for a fact LSD has studied those VODs. I think there's an interesting fact that also Zane beat Amsa roughly almost at the same time, within like a 5-second difference for both of his sets against Amsa, which is really crazy.
Wait, 5 seconds? What do you mean? What?
Like the VOD length for Zane versus Amsa, there are 2 that are like, I think within like a 10-second difference or something like that.
Okay.
Which is really just a fun random fact. But
how do you retain that? How is that something, like, in your analysis? Or first off, you're not analyzing. You don't play Marth or Yoshi.
It's a cool fact. I can't like cool Melee facts.
I guess so. I just, man, your brain works in such different ways than mine. I would not have remembered that piece of data. You're just so trained for those, like, remembering those percentages.
This is why you do improv, JD.
Oh yeah, I know 30 ways to take the suggestion of pizza pie, but I don't know crouch cancel percent off of Falco's down tilt. You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but I mean, it's gonna be a real nickel and dime game between LSD and Beezim, and that's the tricky part. I mean, I've lived with a Marth player. I always tend to be around Marth players, but shout outs to Joe Young. I've rode the subway with him many times back, him losing to Whiskers and being tight about it. And I think that's the tough thing with the Marth matchup. It's like there's no real like killer move. There's no, like, the end game is you just have to kind of nickel and dime until Yoshi cannot get back, or you can snipe like the air dodge to get back on stage, right? And that just lends to so many neutral openings for Beezim, and 1-2 good reads is like, what, 30-40%, sometimes even more. And I think that's why Marth Yoshi is so tough, and why Zane in particular is so impressive in the matchup, and why I'm assuming that LSD has probably also studied those VODs. So I'm actually curious to see how LSD fares against what used to be seen as a very, very tough losing matchup for Marth.
I see where you're coming from, and LSD, I think, is where my mind goes. Not necessarily the character matchup, because I think you nailed it with kind of the weaknesses and what Marth is up against. LSD in particular seems to me, like you said, to have studied every viable matchup. I mean, this is someone who got into Summit, and it wasn't on a fluke. You know, it wasn't just for some random reason, or I guess you can't really get in on a fluke. It wasn't it wasn't because of anything besides his dedication to the game, his skill, and his ability to execute. And that being said, I think he has a strong idea of what to do against this player. They've possibly played before. I wouldn't put it past Beezim to be making it up to far enough in bracket to be hitting up LSD and winners all the time. And I have to believe that even if it does take, 1,000 cuts, that LSD has no problem putting in that time and fully just allowing the patience and the advantages that Marth has to just win out eventually. That being said, we'll see if BZIM can make sure these stocks are being traded at the very least. And if that's the case, that's a dub.
Yeah.
If not, we'll have to go one stock at a time. But we are starting from 3 to 4 here.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, and to talk about BZIM, right? I think we set a really good picture for LSD. BZIM is one of the most up and coming players in the online era, being featured by Alston Melee a few videos back, a few months back. Also notable H-box win, right? So I think that, and having played BZIM a few times, I think BZIM is a really, really fast Yoshi that has a lot of knowledge, and so I think it's going to be really interesting to see it, because I think BZIM has been on the come up, and this is the perfect matchup for BZIM to say what's up again to everyone at Twitch chat.
Definitely got to say what's up, especially when you're in a situation like this, a newly minted Summit attendee. You got a chance to make a splash. You got to do it, brother. You got to step up.
Yeah, I agree. Shoutouts. I feel like the Pengu is the best commentator to do Yoshi stuff, but he is not here right now, and you have us and BZIM.
Oh, so close.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is what I was saying, JD. The fact that Marth just has no moves that knock down makes it so tough for this matchup, and we see BZIM take a really quick first stock against LSD.
Yeah, I sense a little bit of just shock coming out from LSD. Sitting back like, okay, you just took my stock with a read forward smash, a charged forward smash. Almost just beat me first stock with just a random edge hog. That tipper helps for sure. But you got to remember the full context of this is that Southeast is down. BZIM is holding a lead right now, and LSD needs to make a comeback, or else it's gonna, when's the comeback gonna happen? You have a Fox Marth matchup against you after this, and that's only if HC is able to clean up without losing any on the way. So the full context of this match cannot be lost. A lot of percent though being gained. Slowly but surely, LSD building enough to make a splash here, but a little afraid on the ledge on that down B, not contesting.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Wow. That egg stun is so crazy, honestly, and I love, the big thing with Yoshi that's really trippy is that Yoshi's like threat range is like a triangle, and so you can't be underneath it, right? LSD was outside of it right there, but LSD has to be outside of it like all the time, and then that's when you see BZIM go for the like neutral B egg, lay the egg move.
My God, he's almost laying an egg in all of our faces right now. This is insane Yoshi play, just like 8 forward airs in a row, leading to so much damage. LSD not finding enough. That forward smash is the weak hit, not enough. Double jump, gets back, and the shield drop to get back to center stage, not getting the kill. There's an up tilt.
It didn't pan out for BZIM there, but I love the charge forward smash. Yoshi having an invisible head during that up smash animation. It was still a great trade. Can BZIM close it out without losing a stock? That's really the big thing.
Wow, getting clipped with that neutral air is enough to get a knockdown, but we're still just very low percent. LSD not contesting any of these double jumps. I don't hate it, but it's the percent has to come from somewhere. Neutral air is the go-to. Trying to bait out something from that shield drop. BZIM not biting. Going to that top platform. Finally, red. Another bite. That time, LSD gets something started. Pushing off. Just sweeping. Sweep off the stage. Back center stage. Pretty healthy. In Yoshi world.
That egg was so scary. Oh my gosh. Is BZIM going to go for a committal option? Does. And I think that might be it. No, it isn't.
Not quite. Getting up a little too early. Another read on the forward smash, but not enough. And LSD's hanging in there. The egg is going to be interrupted by the platform. And now a nair.
Wow.
Wow. Yep. That is not what you want if you are the Southeast team. Bison coming in, beating the Summit attendee pretty handily. I mean, that was they came in with a less of a lead than what they ended with, so that is that clean. And now HT, the anchor, has to come in and take 6 stocks, 2 off of Yoshi, 4 off of Marth. Possible, difficult, but it starts with the little Yoshi Fox action.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, but I mean, first off, just great showing by Bizim. What did I say? Bizim would say what's up, and Bizim said what's up. But I think the big thing, like I noticed there, was Bizim's egg usage. I really love just having played Bizim before. Bizim covers like Yoshi sometimes with the egg toss back, and it just caught LSD a few times and sniped LSD sometimes as well. So I think that's something to keep in mind, even going into the Fox Yoshi matchup, right? The other big thing I think is just like HT will just need to play around that sort of triangle offensive range that Yoshi has. It's not as linear as other characters, especially with all the shield drops and like, you know, double jump timings and momentum shifts and stuff like, or like air dodge timings and stuff like that. It's just tough to account for Yoshi, but generally it's like a triangle down from the top platform is what Yoshi's range is. So you kind of don't even want to play center stage because Yoshi can just like drop through quickly fair, drop through quickly nair, bear, and that's what makes it's such a like a wacky matchup for any character, honestly.
I like to imagine that Yoshi's threat range on stages with the top platform is like Hulk Hogan's facial hair. It's just like boom, like top and then down like that. It's like if you're going in there, you're gonna get it, brother. You know, you're gonna get the heat. So, that being said, Fox, Marth, they have different tools. It's going to be really interesting to see what can happen in this matchup. I kind of want this to go to like last player. So I'm gunning for HT here to pull out some crazy, just even if it's not crazy, even just simple drill shine. Are they fighting?
No, we're in it. No, we're not.
No, they shouldn't be fighting. You should be warming up your hands.
Yeah. HT though, very, very technical fast Fox, like absolutely rapid. So I think I could see HT overwhelming Bizim, and I could see Bizim catching HT going in, and I think that's kind of like going to be the biggest indicator is with how fast HT moves and wants to move forward. It's can HT mix that up and kind of juke Bizim a little bit, or will Bizim kind of call the run in?
Yeah, I do think that getting the overwhelm is certainly like the win condition here, is being able to again just get those openings. There are confirms off shine. There are ways to just like get your kills once the percent's there, and I could even see a laser or two, some single laser. Yep. What are they doing starting so close to each other? It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I don't
crazy.
I don't know what's happening. Start at 35. Yeah. Come on.
Well, it's on FD, JD, so the magic percent is 96. That's when up smash kills, by the way.
Ooh, just 96.
Yeah, Yoshi's a big boy.
Well, this big boy is getting some damage in right now. This is a like most matchups, FD is not as simple as it's almost never neutral. It's just they both have huge advantages.
Oh my gosh, that fair was so nasty, and that's kind of what's tricky, I think, about FD for Fox in particular against this matchup as Bizim closes it out, is that you just want to shield, right? Because you're like, oh, shielding's good, but then you'll see Yoshi do like fairs or those neutral Bs to catch the shield, right? Because fair has is really like has a lot of shield stun, and then also the neutral B just grabs you. And so that's kind of the tricky part, and you have to play this matchup slightly differently on FD because of it. And sometimes it throws Foxes off. It throws me off when I play Whiskers, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's a really good call out. Right now, HT fine.
That's it.
Whoa!
Yeah. I've been there before.
Holy smokes.
That's rough, buddy.
I mean, the Shine Out shields are getting HT out of this pressure, but it's leading to virtually nothing. Now with that, I guess you could call it a command grab in a sense, the beat shield.
Yeah,
and you can start it in the air.
Grab.
And, you know, that neutral B, kind of a meme move, but it works in this particular stage, in this particular scenario. It's coming out all the time now.
It's such a strong mix-up, I have to say. It's such a strong mix-up on this stage.
Oh my god, speaking of mix-up, another charge forward smash, and just nothing coming from this Fox right now. Another forward smash, no punish. Rolling around, not getting caught. Bizim is just on a tear, not dying. I didn't know if it was going to be a down B to get back or what, but finally the first stock taken. But at this pace, Bizim's going to just honestly end it without Vintage needing to play. We're down to last stock, and it is a heavy blow to the chances of the Southeast team.
Yep.
I think Bizim might be trying to end it right here.
Grounded neutral B.
Oh my god!
A big combo.
Oh my, extending it. And just an egg to clear it out, but no final ending. Got to keep the switch clip alive, and the nair to clean it up. Wow. What a way to end this crew battle. Vintage not getting a chance to play, but Bizim, the star of the show, coming in, doing massive damage against LSD, beating HT with losing only one stock, and clutching it for the Southeast team with a full player on the bench. Wow. That is, I looked at Twitch chat for 1 second. I just see Bizim cracked, and I don't know if I could say better than that.
I mean, yeah, I told you Bizim was nasty. Bizim is really good at that matchup as well. And I think the story for MDVA is, I know you said Bizim hero of the crew battle, but I felt like every MDVA player just did a little bit extra than what they needed to do, right? They just did a little bit extra, and that was great. But that last showing, that last percent was really, really good. I think Bizim is really good on FD as well in the matchup. And another thing I noticed was, you know, Fair also, on top of having great shield stun, beats crouch cancel, right? And that's it. Kind of, you have to play very differently. But congrats to MDVA. I mean, what else is there to say? It was a dominant showing. They still have a player on the bench resting for tomorrow, I believe, or the next.
Oh
day.
yeah. If it was baseball, that'd be the pitcher that you just start the next game with. But I don't think it works that way. I love looking for my baseball metaphors, but there's none to be had here. I'm just so happy we got a chance to commentate that. That was insanely fun melee. Pretty great, like, overall narratives to the crew battles. If you are just tuning in now, great crews to check out and just watch from the beginning. Make sure you listen to me and Will. We're the most important part of it, of course. You know, our analysis and just our, like, back and forth. It's just, like, so natural, you know? So if you go back, just honestly skip the gameplay. Just listen to us, and send us, like, your live reactions, of course, to us talking to each other. We're getting something from the stream.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, we got breaking news here. So just a reminder for everyone, since Texas dropped out, we're going to just be showing some content until the next crew battle, which is going to be AZ versus Mexico at 6:30 PST. So just set your alarms and you know, get ready for also some amazing talent on comms. So it's Studebaker, Hotch, and Blarg 257. And before we head out, before this block ends, I just want to say thank you again to the Big One for the opportunity of having us on the mic. This is an amazing event. Keep supporting it. Keep watching it. Watch the content section. It's gonna be so sick. And also don't forget to donate! !donate. All of the funds will help with 4 main fundraisers. One being an IRL event for Rollback Rumble. It's going to help, you know, support the staff of the Big One, who has been working tirelessly for months to give you this and the amazing graphics and amazing event planning and the amazing just like matches, honestly. Also to the Maid, where it was an Oakland local that I went to once in 2015 when I was here for the summer. It was such a fun thing. Would love to see it come back now that I moved to NorCal. And most importantly, the Memorial Fund of William Ma. One of our own. We show there we're family. We support our family in the Smash community, and it's time to show some more love. So !donate.
Thanks, Will. Yeah, a lot to put your newly free money if you're the Yingling crew and you just love spending money towards the Smash community. Don't worry, we have a place for you. But we're gonna take a break. We're gonna throw to some sick content that the whole team's been cooking up and collecting. It's for your sake, so stick around. We have crews later, and we have Smash all week. This is the big one, man. Stick around. Thanks for watching.